I think the thing that I'm really, really actively trying to work on right now, and I could use some advice, is the accepting of that some people are just mean. And I'm going to elaborate on that by saying that it's very hard for me as a person. It's like the opposite of people who are dehumanizing. I humanize everyone, and too much, to an extent that it's my own fault. And there are people that I love so deeply that just have done horrible things. And I just am able to justify it every time. And I want to be able to not justify it. I want to be able to be like, no, sometimes people do shitty things because they're shitty. And I don't know how. I don't know how to wire my brain into not giving people the benefit of the doubt. And like, I want to hold grudges. I want to be a little bit bitter to protect myself. And I just can't sometimes, and it's just like,
Do you have examples or an example?
I'm trying to think of examples.
Empathy for the individual hurts the group sometimes.
Exactly. And like the only real specific example I can think of was just like random friends that I had in high school. A lot of my friends, not a lot of them, I had some really phenomenal friends in high school, thank God, which I'm still friends with some of them today. I say today, like I didn't graduate like 3 years ago. You're like, give it time, bitch. They'll stop talking to you and unfriend you on Facebook. Yeah. I'm like, but I had a couple people that I surrounded myself with in high school who just genuinely did not fucking like me. They didn't like me, and they kept me around because I didn't go anywhere. And it really sucks knowing that people that you love so much are like talking badly about you or poorly about you to other people that you love and to other people that love you. And I just, every single time it was like, I wasn't even mad. I was just sad because it was like, I know that that's like coming from you. I know that that's a projection and I want to help you, but you don't like me. I don't know how to help you. I need to let it go, but I want to like, does that make sense? Like,
I think so.
Like, it's like people will be like, I hate you. You're ugly. Go die. And I'm like, why does that, what, is everything okay? Like, do you need to talk to somebody?
You skip the part where you're pissed off.
Exactly. And I don't know how to not do that. I have opposite anger issues.
Yeah.
Like I'm too in control of my
You need to go to anger management to get your anger, to get some anger. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to say forgiving because I don't think that that's the angle that I want to go at here, because I also don't want to paint myself in that light, because like I am spiteful sometimes. Like I'm not trying to brand myself as this Mother Teresa who hates no one and does no wrong. No, like I'm a hater. Like,
okay, I was gonna say, do you display hate? I have
people that I'm just like, oh no, I hate you. You're just a garbage person. Like you suck. And like those are always people that like are super, super mean to like just to be mean. Like there's nothing other than it just brings them joy to hurt people. And it just like, I'm just like, I can't be around people like that. It just makes me sad. It makes me sad because I know that if they just got a hug, maybe they wouldn't be so mean. And I don't know how to hug everyone. I have short arms. I'm 5'5".
Yeah.
I just mean like as a general, like.
Do you want to get mad at these people, but you're upset that.
No. Skylin Shay in chat, that she was my roommate for a while, so she knows me very well. She says
you're very understanding. You always find a way to understand why people are being how they are. Yeah, it does seem like some kind of Mother Teresa vibe where you're just like able to see the good in people who hurt you.
But yes, and that is a strength of mine, that I will say that is a strength of mine. However, it is so frustrating when you're like, I can't let this go, but I'm going to let it go because my brain is wired to be like, Lindy, they have shit going on that you can't control. All you can do is like, let it be. And I just have to, I'm a smotherer a little bit. And I don't know how to stop being too nice sometimes because I know it's annoying, and I know that sometimes people just want to argue or like debate, and it's annoying. And like, I feel bad when people are trying to be mean to me, because it's like, well, you're trying so hard to hurt my feelings right now, and I'm just trying to kiss your forehead. Like, that's got to be frustrating as fuck too. Like, that's got to be triggering some other part of you that's upset about not getting attention as a child, you know? Like, I don't know. I think I overanalyze people is my issue.
I know what you're saying. It seems like, yeah, you have the opposite problem of most people. People are like, usually people sit in the anger and can't get to that place that you go.
Yeah. See, but the weird thing is, I have this almost void of no reaction, because I look back and I'm like, I've never stood up for myself.
Yeah, because I think there's value in that anger. You know what I mean? Because it's like
powerful. And
it kind of helps you understand who you are and what people are like allowed or not allowed to do to you. It's like it's a signal or something.
Yeah. Anger is you setting boundaries for yourself. When you're angry about something, that means that a boundary of yours has been violated.
Totally.
So when I sit and I really ponder, like, I don't really react to things. I don't really get upset. I don't stew in anger. I don't hold grudges. I have this sort of like, I've also never stood up for myself. I've also never corrected anyone when they said something wrong about me. And I do now. I have gotten a lot better, but like, I don't like being a bystander in my own life all the time. I don't like being the camera guy of my own life. I want to be the director, you know, and I feel
performer.
Like, exactly.
You're in it. Yeah.
Well, I am a theater kid, so you know, us theater kids, we're performers.
Are you conflict avoidant? I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I again, not as bad anymore, because this is like a journey that I've been on recently of trying to figure out where this comes from. And oh my God, Tay is here. Hi, Tay.
What's up, Tay? In the fucking house. Hello, Tay.
I think I grew up around, I don't think, I know I was there. I grew up around people. I grew up around reactions. I grew up around criticism, reactions, and reviews. And I think that really, really, really changed how I view reactions, because what do you
mean by define? What's a reaction? Okay. Like,
so my like philosophy in life is, and you'll know exactly what I mean when I kind of go into this more, because you can see how I'm complaining about the lifestyle and how my philosophy also ties into it a little bit. But if you can control your reactions to anything, you can control almost anything. If you are able to, in the moment, if you're in a heated argument, let's say as an example, and you are able to mentally take yourself down and not react and process, you have just changed the entire course of this conflict. Even if you are just the one person who's able to get out of your head for a second and be like, okay, if I react this way, it is going to get this reaction. If I react this way, they're going to do this. If I do this, and if you just give yourself a second, and you will be shocked at how fast your brain moves, because a second is not as long as you think it is. But once you learn how to just take a second and process the situation that you're in and process the situation that the other person is in before reacting, you have like 90% of control of the entire situation. Ever. Think of any situation that something has gone wrong in. Chances are, if you had just taken a second to just get out of your head before you reacted, it would have gone better.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard. It's so hard, especially with my generation. Like we were raised on technology, you know, so like our attention spans are shot to shit. We think in like in Braille, in wall sized, like there's so much happening at all times that it's just like, it's so important in such a disconnected era that we live in to be able to take that second in the highest intensity moment that you're having that day and be able to calm yourself down and be able to self-soothe and be able to make logical decisions based off of how you want the situation to go.
Yeah.
There were situations where it's like, oh, like, oh, me and my boyfriend got into a huge argument and he's mad because I didn't do this. And so if someone's yelling at you and it's like, why didn't you do this? Like, I told you to do this. It was really important to me. Your automatic reaction is to be like, why the fuck are you yelling at me? Blah, 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 blah. You're on the defense instantaneously. You're on the defense and you are protecting yourself. If you were to just take in that situation while they're still yelling at you, even just take yourself out of your own head and be like, okay, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe that was something that meant a lot more to them than I thought it meant. And I could have done something else. Or maybe I personally think they're being a little bit dramatic in this situation, knowing that it's not going to help if I also amp the theatrics. So then I can behave accordingly that way. You know what I mean? And it's like, and if you go at it instead of being like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Why are you yelling at me? And if you just, take a second, say, hey, I feel like you're getting a little bit upset, which is fine because I know this is something you're passionate about, but like, I just want to have a conversation. I want to make sure that this goes how we want it to go. And you would be shocked at the amount of people that agree to that and are like, no, you're right. You're right. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to go take a walk and we'll come back and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. People don't give themselves time to take a second. If you start forcing other people to take seconds too, it's going to help you get that sort of like almost ingrained gap of reaction time. Because now when things happen to me, I'm like, okay, I've got 5 seconds to think about how I'm going to react to this. But normal people don't do that. Exactly. But it's a skill. Everything is a skill. You can start tomorrow.
All of this sounds great though. You said this is like really good.
No,
you can do this.
It took me a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a long, long time. And it took me a lot of sitting in my room on my bed, TV off, phone off, computer off, and just sort of asking myself questions. And it's really interesting when you sit with yourself and you start to think of things. You start to think like, I wonder why this works this way. I wonder why this does this. Don't Google it. Don't fucking do that shit. Just think about things. And you will learn more about yourself than you ever would have known any other way. And you start to pick up on, like that today's, I saw this tweet and it made me really, really, really mad. And I don't know why it made me mad. Take 20 seconds to just be like, okay, well, was there a reason behind my initial adversary to this? Was there something inside of me that I haven't healed that made me act in this way so angrily towards this tweet, even if it was just in my own head? And when you start to pick apart the layers of yourself that like you've never listened to before because everything else has made it so loud, you really can learn like what you want. And with that comes your body feeling listened to. And when your body feels listened to, it's a lot easier to control it. So
I'm ready to join your cult. I'm where do I sign up?